Hey guys, how's it going? So today's video is going to be a little bit different. It is aimed towards people who are thinking about going to university. So I tweeted asking you guys to send me some university themed questions. I graduated about a year ago now it would be, and I studied for 3 years on a course called Digital Film and Screen Arts. The answers to these questions are mostly going to be based on personal experience, so what I'm saying may not translate to your university experience, but if you literally have no idea what to expect, hopefully I can try and give some decent advice here. So the commonly asked question is it difficult to make friends at university? And I'd say as long as you're prepared to meet new people, you will be absolutely fine. There was a girl I lived with in first year who I probably saw her about 5 times. Firstly, I would say try to get to know and get along with your housemates. You're going to be living with them for the first year, so it's good to at least get acquainted with them. Also, I just want to say I'm purely talking about universities in the UK. I know that American university is a lot different. For example, you share a room with someone. I'm not talking about that as I have no experience with that. Okay, so you're not just limited to your housemates. The people that you will meet and work with on your course probably live in halls near to you. My university was quite small, so it was very easy to make friends as everybody just knew each other. Okay, I'll say that I was terrified of going to university. Going to a strange new town where you know 0 people is a very, very frightening thought. You've probably heard it before, but everybody is in the same boat as you. So hopefully you can all just bond over feeling terrified. Another common question is, should I even go to university? This is something that I can't answer. I don't know anything about you or your lifestyle or your interests. So that's something that's really up to you to decide. And of course you can seek help from your family and close friends, but ultimately the decision should be entirely yours. Whether you choose to go or where you go is entirely your decision, which sounds super scary, but try to see it as a good thing. You are in complete control, remember that. It'll most likely be your first experience of ultimate independence while still being in this safety zone. Whether you choose to go depends on many things. One of many questions to ask yourself could be, will a degree better the chances of my chosen career interest of a mathematical herbologist doctor? The answer to that one is probably yes. But there are some careers that don't actually require you to have a degree. How much should I save before going to uni? There's not really a set number for this. Essentially, the more money you have that isn't student loan, the more comfortable you'll live. It is kind of that simple. I know people who got through university entirely on student loan, and I also know people who aren't in debt at all because they didn't take out a student loan because they worked for a gap year before going to university, just working every day and saving up money. Is it worth going if you don't know what career you want to do? This is a really difficult one because at age 18 you're not expected to know what you want to do when you're older. At age 30 you're still not expected to know what you want to do when you're older. If you have an idea, then that's good, but nobody is expecting you to do that. Chances are you have just spent 2 years at college or sixth form studying courses that don't grip you and get you excited. Maybe your college or sixth form just didn't offer that course that you thought you might want to do. The thing you go on to study at university should be something that excites you. Have you slaved away at college and sixth form for the past 2 years studying English when you're really actually just interested in film, and maybe vice versa? I'm not saying English is a bad course, but if film is what you want to do and you've not been studying it, maybe that's what you hunger for. Which segues nicely into the next question, which I get a lot, which is, do I need to go to university to study film? This depends entirely on your current lifestyle. For me to explain this, I'm going to need to give you a bit of personal backstory. I was 18 and I had no idea what I wanted to do other than make films. I sucked at everything academic. I kept getting terrible grades. I just wanted to tell stories. There was too much pressure to go to university, so I thought, nope, not doing it. I'm taking a gap year. I spent that entire year making films, and by the end of it, I was positive that is what I wanted to do. The only problem was, all my friends had left to go to university whilst I spent my gap year making films by myself. Even though I had some incredible experiences during that time, it just didn't fill that void of wanting to collaborate with other people. So I went to university because I craved wanting to make films with other people who also wanted to make films. Some of the things I learned in first year, I already knew. The things I didn't know much about was how to work in a team. Being surrounded by other people in the same creative mindset as me was really an important part of my progress in becoming a filmmaker. And it could be an important part for you as well. If for some reason my story sounds eerily similar similar to a situation you're in, maybe take a gap year first and try out if it's really what you'd like to do. What was your experience of Freshers Week like? So Freshers Week, for those of you who don't know, is a week where you generally don't have any responsibilities other than making lots of friends. Your university will put on clubs and societies that you can join, and generally that is one very good way of making friends that I didn't talk about before. Some people also take it upon themselves to add getting wasted and having lots of sex to the list of things that you should accomplish during Freshers Week, which are definitely not official things that you're expected to do. Hell, whilst we're on the subject, let's just talk about this for a second. You don't have to drink to fit in. If you want to casually have a couple of beers, that's absolutely fine. If you don't want to drink at all, that is also absolutely fine. People often think that the university lifestyle is getting wasted and not doing any work and just pissing about, which is a stupid ass way to think. Some people treat university like a 3-year holiday. Whilst it's only a taste of the real world, it's your chance to really push yourself and try your hardest at something with the chance to fuck up and it actually not matter whatsoever. So the question, what was my Freshers Week like? It was cool. I had a lot of fun. I made some great friends. The friends I made during that week are still people who I talk to now and work with now 4 years later. Any memorable university anecdotes? Yes. So there's this little thing known as Freshers Flu. All of these hundreds of people are flocking to university in this one particular place. Some people coming from different sides of the continent, some people coming from different sides of the world. All it takes is for one person to have a tiny little bug for it to spread like the freaking plague. I was actually very fortunate that I didn't get ill at the start of university. I escaped Freshers Flu. Or so I thought. No. When I got ill, it was around the 1st December that I was at university, over my birthday. The campus was packed with snow, and I felt like death. Whatever it was that got me really bad. I remember leaving my lecture early and just going straight to bed to see if I could sleep off whatever this was. A couple of my friends, Tommy and Dill? Is that the name of the Rugrats? Anyway, it's not important. My friends brought me a bottle of medicine and put it on my bedside table. The medicine was called Buttercup. During my time at university, this became a joke about me because of what happened. A joke of something really stupid that I did. I woke up in a bit of a daze because I was feeling ill and I was still quite sleepy, and I saw the bottle of Buttercup next to me. In my sleepy daze, I proceeded to drink half the bottle of it. The next thing that happened was I passed out. What happened next, I can only describe as the acid trip that I've never had. I full-on hallucinated that I was swimming in the air and the sky around me and everything around me was just glowing different colors. I felt incredibly weightless and eventually felt like I was floating in space, and then I just felt like I was dead. Even though I could tell I was still awake, it was so weird. The combination of drinking so much of that Buttercup, as well as feeling so ill, just somehow messed with me really badly. I've never been so relaxed yet so scared in my entire life. Then I woke up in a cold sweat a few hours later, and I promised myself that I would always just use a spoon with the recommended amount of medicine. Here's a tip: never chug a bottle of medicine. What was the biggest mistake you made? See answer to previous question. Do you think that going to university will have an impact on your life if you're considering an artistic career? This question is kind of like the should I go to university to study film question, but I feel like I could expand on it a little bit more. Alongside doing my work for university, I spent 3 long years making as many of my own films as possible. I took complete advantage of the fact that I was only expected to do my university work and then have all of this free time. And I loved making films, so I took that free time and turned it into the film making time. There wasn't a moment where I wasn't thinking about what I wanted to make next. This isn't necessarily the attitude you need to have, but if you're so passionate that you want to continue something outside of your studying hours, then that's only a good thing. So yes, I think the positive impact that it will have is that I now have 3 additional years of experience filming, editing, working with people, and just generally improving. Did you feel super lost after finishing uni, or did your many projects keep you grounded? So post-uni can be a very scary thing. Like a very, very scary thing. That hand that's been holding yours for the past 3 years has just let go, and now you have to make all the big decisions. But hopefully the past 3 years will have built you up to be able to do that, so it's not that scary when you think about it that way. I was very, very fortunate that I had been self-employed whilst at uni. So leaving university for me just kind of felt like, well, now I have more time to put more effort into these big projects, and I don't have to do any more essays or studying. Post-university is different for everybody. You may get the perfect job straight away, or it may take a while. I must stress that there is no rush. go at your own pace. Some people like to go traveling after university. Chances are, if you didn't take a gap year, then you have been in education since about 4 or 5 years old. That's 16 years of studying constantly. You deserve a freaking break. It is your duty to take a bit of a break. But of course, if opportunity and jobs are there and you feel ready just to take it, then that is also absolutely fine. How do you stop exam procrastination? This answer probably won't help people in the position having to ask that question, but it may help people that haven't chosen their course yet. Now, this isn't entirely what you should base your decision on, but if a big part of your course is written work, essays, exams, and you're really not comfortable with that, then maybe take into account that a course that's more practical or creative may be for you. How did you decide what course to take? Did you choose ones you regret? I think things in the UK work a little bit different, as we only choose one course to study here, whereas I think in the US you choose many different ones to major in. I think that's correct, but hopefully I can answer this. Just because you've picked the history of the guava melon doesn't mean that you are stuck studying that for the next 8 years of your life. There's always an option to switch course, whether it's after a week or a year, or even 2 years or 3 years. Whenever you want to switch course, you can. I did that 1 week in. I personally applied for film production. I thought I wanted to study film production. After a week, I was terrified of how traditional it was, when what I was interested in was a new media type of filming, all online and website type of content. I freaked out and made a very rushed decision to leave university. I filled in all the forms and I was actually ready to go the coming weekend. Then I met someone called Tom who told me all about his course that was called Digital Film and Screen Art. The way he described it sounded perfect for me. It was exactly what I wanted to study, but I'd never heard of it when I applied to the uni. I realized that I just hadn't researched the film production course at all. Tom then became one of my best friends at university, and we actually worked together for every single project on that course for the next 3 years. So that was cool. I'm really glad I didn't leave. Finally, did you enjoy university, or would you rather have not have gone? I absolutely loved university. It was one of my most favorite experiences in life so far, and I have done some pretty cool things. The people I met and the things we got up to were the best, and it completely changed me too. I went from being this awkward, shy kid who thought he knew more about film than he actually did, to being chewed up and spit out as a much, much more confident person and a filmmaker with a lot of great skills and some incredible experiences. So yes, to answer your question, I very much enjoyed university. Whew, and that's all for now. Thank you for asking these questions. If there's something that I didn't cover but you really would like to ask, then please leave it in the comments below and I will try my best to answer the questions. There are some topics that I have absolutely zero experience in, such as international studying, so I'm not actually able to help with anything about that. I also want to say this, which is probably the most important thing. Please do not consider the university that I went to as an option just because I went there. I had a great experience because of the people I met and the lifestyle I adopted. This will most likely not be the same experience that you will have. I'm definitely not saying you'll have a bad experience, but choosing my university just because I went there is not enough of a reason to go. Think about it this way. It is 3 years of your life, so please think carefully about that decision. I just wanted to make it super clear that the one thing I cannot do for you is recommend a university. I really don't have the experience or the skill to do that kind of thing. There are people who are trained to help you with that. Whew. So, if you haven't gone to university and you'd like to go, embrace it as one incredible life experience. It's scary for the first hour of the first day that you're there, but as soon as you meet that first person, then all of that goes away and you'll have a great time. I really hope this video has helped, and I will see you guys in the next video. Woo!